If you're thinking about moving to Charlotte, North Carolina, there's a good chance that you've already noticed something. The city keeps showing up. It shows up on the best places to live in lists. It shows up on the fastest growing cities. It shows up when companies expand. It shows up when families decide that they want more space. It shows up when people in higher cost states start asking themselves if there might be better balance out there. And that's exactly why so many people are looking at Charlotte right now. But here's what I'll tell you after helping a lot of people relocate here. Most people start by searching Charlotte, and once they really understand the area, many of them end up living around Charlotte, and honestly, that's usually the right move. Because Charlotte isn't just one city, it's really a full region with different lifestyles depending on what matters to you. You've got city living, luxury neighborhoods, golf course communities, lake towns, family suburbs, quieter outskirt areas, and places where you'll get a lot more space while still being able to stay connected to everything. So in this video, I want to break down 7 real reasons that people are moving to Charlotte, North Carolina, and why so many people end up staying once they get here. And on top of that, I'm also going to be honest with you on where Charlotte might not be a good fit. All right, reason number 1, and that is that opportunity still lives here. One of the biggest reasons that people move to Charlotte is it's pretty simple: opportunity. Charlotte has built a strong reputation as one of the top financial centers in the country, with major banking presence and a steady professional economy. But it's not just banking around here. You've got healthcare, you've got logistics, construction, manufacturing, tech, professional services, and a growing business environment just overall. And what that means for the average person is that there are options. Maybe you're moving here with a remote job, maybe you're transferring, maybe one spouse has work lined up and the other one doesn't yet. Maybe you're just looking for a metro where if life changes, you're not going to be stuck. All right, that matters because some places are great until you need a new job. Charlotte tends to offer more career flexibility than a lot of our similarly sized markets. And another thing that people like here is that Charlotte still feels like a city where upward movement is possible. People come here to level up, to get bigger roles, to move into management, and to start something new, maybe to reset financially. Reason number 2 is going to be on value, and it depends on where you're coming from. Now let's talk housing, because obviously that's part of the conversation. Charlotte is no longer the secret bargain city that people have talked about for years. Those days have been gone for a while now. Home prices have risen, demand has gone way up, and desirable suburbs have risen as well. So I want to be honest about that, but value is going to be relative. If you're moving from North Jersey or Long Island, Westchester, the Boston suburbs, Northern Virginia, or parts of Florida, Charlotte can still feel like pretty strong value, especially when you compare like square footage, yard size, garage space, newer communities and the amenities that they offer, and the overall lifestyle options. Now, if you're moving here from a lower cost rural market or a smaller town, Charlotte may feel expensive. And that's fair too, but what many buyers still appreciate here is that you have choices. You want city living? You could do that. You want a suburban neighborhood with sidewalks and a community pool? You could do that too. You want to live on a golf course? You want lake access? A luxury custom home or a townhouse close to some restaurants? Maybe more land further out? Charlotte's going to give you a lot of different paths depending on your budget, and that flexibility is going to be a huge reason that people move here. Reason number 3, the suburbs around Charlotte are a huge part of the story. This is where a lot of relocation buyers get surprised. They think they're moving to Charlotte, then they realize that they may not actually want to live in Charlotte proper. They may want the Charlotte lifestyle from the suburbs, and that could be a smart move. Let me give you a few examples here. Huntersville is very popular because it offers convenience, great shopping, proximity to Charlotte, and it still has access to Lake Norman. There's strong day-to-day functionality and neighborhoods that people really like. Cornelius leans a lot more into the lake with marinas, lakefront dining. You have higher end pockets, but you still have a lot of that Lake Norman energy. The town of Davidson, just a little bit further north, has charm, walkability. You have Davidson College there, so there's strong ties into a college community, and it's definitely one of the more unique towns in our region. Mooresville gives you variety, like access in some areas, more houses in others, newer communities, established neighborhoods, and a lot of people appreciate the balance there. Valentine, on the other hand, appeals to many professionals who want polished suburban living with strong convenience to South Charlotte's employment centers. Concord can offer value, growth, and practical access depending on where you're looking, and there are way more. That's why I always tell people, don't just choose the move based on the house first, choose it based on how your Monday through Friday is going to feel, because the wrong commute is going to wear on you. The wrong location is going to frustrate you, and the wrong fit is going to make a nice house feel less exciting as your time here goes on. And if you've already gotten this far, I just want you to know that I make 2 videos twice a week, every single week, about what it's really like living in the Charlotte and surrounding areas. And as much as I do love making these videos, I am also a licensed real estate broker here. So whether you're moving in 9 days, 90 days, or even sometime next year, that number that you see below, I answer every call, every text message, and every email. Sometimes one good conversation early is going to save people months of frustration later. All right, let's jump back into the video. Reason number 4, and that is that Charlotte gives you big city benefits without feeling like you're in a mega city like New York or Los Angeles. Charlotte is going to have a lot of the conveniences that people want. A strong airport, major sports teams, concerts, restaurants, shopping, healthcare, corporate presence, and national connectivity. But Charlotte still tends to feel more manageable than some larger metros. And for a lot of families or professionals, that's going to be the sweet spot. You want enough going on, but maybe not too much. You want career opportunity, but maybe not 2-hour commute times. You want airport access to travel wherever you need to go, but maybe you don't want to feel overwhelmed by traveling every day. Charlotte often lands in that middle ground, and that's exactly why it attracts so many people from larger, more intense markets. Reason number 5, the lifestyle here is better than many people expect. Charlotte is not just jobs and subdivisions. There's a real lifestyle value here. Lake Norman is going to be a massive draw with boating and marinas and fishing and trails around the lake, waterfront dining, lake communities, weekend energy, and then you've also got golf everywhere, private and public. You got a lot of ranges around here too. You've got greenways, parks, the Whitewater Center, youth sports, fitness communities, and a lot of that feels like it may be underrated. And another underrated part of Charlotte is its access. You can actually realistically do mountain weekends. You can realistically drive down to the beach for the weekend as well. That combination, in my opinion, is pretty sweet. It's a big draw for me, and you can't really find that in many places in the United States. Most cities only have one thing, and Charlotte's going to give you several things within reach. All right, number 6, 4 seasons without brutal winters. Now this one is going to be a big deal for relocators, especially people leaving the Northeast and the Midwest. Charlotte is going to give you season change. You get spring, fall, you get the summer, you get the leaves turning, you get holiday season without 6 months of punishment. Winter is generally milder than what many northern buyers are used to. Now summer here, it gets hot, it gets humid. That is real, I cannot sugarcoat that. And you can't just leave out the shoulder seasons here of spring and the fall. Spring and fall here, they feel really long, and it's that perfect transition of the spring being in the low 70s going into summer. And yes, summer, it is hot, mid 90s, lots of thunderstorms, but it's not gonna be that big of a concern for most of y'all. Then you've got fall, which is one of my favorite seasons, and you could really see it here. You can see the leaves changing. You can see a lot of people that are getting out, really enjoying the day, going to the market, going to farmers markets, stuff like that. So it's a big reason here. You're gonna love that. And lastly, a lot of people feel like Charlotte just gives them a lot more usable outdoor time across the year. Now the last reason, reason number 7, people are gonna feel good about planting roots here. The final reason that people move here is that they feel confident about Charlotte. They feel like Charlotte has a momentum, and it does. You're gonna see it in population growth. Economically, it's extremely relevant. There's corporate presence. There's a ton of desirable neighborhoods and regional appeal. When buyers feel like an area has a future, they're willing more to commit to that, especially families, especially professionals, especially people relocating for the long term. Now, does that mean every home is going to be a perfect investment? Of course not. But many people like buying in areas where demand feels durable, and Charlotte is going to continue to attract attention year after year. Now, let's be honest, Charlotte, it's not perfect. No city is. The traffic is real. I-77 can be an absolute test of your patience. 485 and 85 are going to back up, and so is State Route 16 on the west side of the lake. Public transportation is still pretty limited compared to older metros. Some suburbs are going to feel spread out, and rapid growth is going to strain some roads, schools, and infrastructure. You're going to see that in places a lot like in Mooresville and in Huntersville. So if you're looking for a compact, transit-first, ultra-walkable lifestyle everywhere, Charlotte, it's probably not going to be your place. But if you want flexibility, options, suburban strength, good career opportunities, and lifestyle balance, Charlotte is going to be very compelling. And last thing I'll leave y'all with, if you're considering a move here, my biggest advice is this. Don't just choose Charlotte, choose the version of Charlotte that fits your life. That might be Davidson, that might be Huntersville, that might be Mooresville, that might even be Charlotte proper or living in Ballantyne. That might be city living, that might be lake living. And if you're trying to figure that out right now, that's exactly what I help people do every single week. We have so many people that do reach out to us that are moving to Charlotte, and the surrounding areas, and we absolutely love helping them. So if you're thinking about moving in 9 days, 90 days, 9 months, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, whatever works best for y'all. The contact info is on the screen below, and I personally respond to all of it. All right, if you've made it this far, I really do appreciate you watching. And if you want to keep researching around Charlotte, I've got 2 videos popping up that YouTube thinks will be a fantastic fit for you. Again, I appreciate y'all watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.